Hey up guys, Burnt Out Culture here. I just thought I'd kill two birds with one stone and have a bit of a chat and drive as I head towards work. As you see, the title of this video is why I think PlayStation 2 collecting is pretty much the here and now. I guess this video's aimed not at what probably are the majority of my subscribers, but to someone who's new to retro game collecting or wants to start collecting but doesn't really know, where the best area is or which format. Now, believe it or not, I have been collecting PS2 pretty much from launch on and off. I don't profess to know, everything about that format, but I reckon over the years I've had a little bit of knowledge. So, as we all know, as we're all well aware, that retro game collecting is absolutely booming and it's on the increase. Regardless to what my missus thinks, it's not just, geeky kids holed up in a bedroom, sort of stuffy little geeks in a bedroom. It's, you only need to look at the footage from retro gaming markets such as Doncaster and Leeds to realise that it's absolutely massive. It's a big deal now, and prices across all formats are constantly on the move in the up direction. Now, I think the reason why I believe PS2 is a real good sort of point to start now is because I think it's potentially on this threshold of becoming ever so more collectible. The reason for this is, although there's a massive library, and a huge majority of that library is shelf churn and just cheap crappy titles, there's around 10% of them titles that are becoming very sought after, and I've noticed over the last 6 to 12 months a shift in the prices in the skyward direction, and some are becoming incredibly expensive. I believe within the next 12 to 18 months that a lot of these games will be sort of heading towards PS1 sort after game money. It really is getting that way now. I'm not saying that a lot of these titles are particularly rare. I can't use the word rare anymore. Certainly with PS2 collectors, there's nothing really rare. But what there is there's a lot of games that are becoming, for whatever reason, small print runs or what have you, are becoming very sought after and commanding more and more money. When they talk about things like, let's for an example say Rule of Rose, that is not a rare game. Alright, it might be rare on the UK PAL, but let's face it, we're not, unless you want to pay £1,000 plus, you're not going to have that. But the Italian, the French versions of this PAL, they're not rare games. But what they are is very sought after, and you're talking even for them a couple of £100 now. There's a lot of games that are falling into this category whereby people are making the mistake thinking they're very rare games. They're not rare, they're just becoming more and more collectible. You can easily source them if you're willing to pay that sort of money. I'd say 10% of the sought after titles are commanding real big money. There's only 2% out of that 10 that I would consider rare title. I mean, say, just take the Buccaneer game I've got. That's rarer than Ruler Rose. That's rarer. There's a I'd say something like Gun Club on PAL. Incredibly rare game that you just do not, you know, very, very rarely see it. That's a rare game, but it's not in this, like I say, it's not in this 10% of the sought after titles. But I'd say there's probably around 200 titles that at the moment are collectible, but they're not daft money, and it's them titles that I think will slowly but surely over the next couple of years, 18 months, couple of years, will really increase in value. And the good thing also with PS2 is you're still able to pick up a bargain. You're still able to find this hidden sort of gem in the rough. You know, you can still pick bargains up in charity shops and car boot sales, that sort of thing. PS1, forget it. You know, it's one in a blue moon now that you see anything. Certainly in charity shops. You may well, if you're super lucky, come across something at a car boot, but very rare. With PS2, and this is due to the size of this library of games as well, there's still loads of people out there that are oblivious to what is a sought after title. So this is hence the reason why you can still get these games if you're lucky. So if someone wanted just to come in and start collecting retro gaming, alright, I know, calling it retro, I know technically PS2 is not retro, I know that, but it soon will be. This is the point I'm trying to make. It soon will be. If someone just wants to start collecting, they don't want to shelling out, you know, what effectively are hundreds of pounds on stuff like Super NES or Mega Drive. You know, I was just looking the other day. I've only got what, say 20 odd 30 games tops of Mega Drive, and it tots up to like, you know, 1,500 quid. You know, it's a lot of money. So if you don't want to go down that route, but yet you still want to collect something that, you know, potentially in time will become valuable, then I think PS2 is silly. You just don't get the love that it deserves as a format. It really don't. There's so many. I mean, I've been collecting for years on and off, and even now I'm still finding games that I didn't even know existed. Even now. And don't forget, I'm just talking about PAL. That's just PAL European. If you were to start, you know, dipping your toe into NTSC, you know, it can all start again. It's really is that sort of big in terms of library. It's just phenomenal. But yeah, I mean, if we talk about sorry guys. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I don't get me wrong, guys. For 1 second, I'm not sort of harping on about thinking I know everything about. I really don't. And I mean, even people like Tootie, who are, you know, what I consider collecting gods. Even he probably, you know, comes across things on, you know, that even he didn't know about to do with collecting. You know, I think as with most things, retro gaming is something where you never stop learning. Never stop learning. There's always somebody who knows more than you. But it's nice just to, as you go along over a long period of time, you do gain a little bit of knowledge about what's collectible, and it's really good being part of the YouTube community for learning, for picking up hints and tips and on the collecting side of things. You know, this is where you really learn. But yeah, that's why. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are. I could be wrong. Maybe, you know, maybe it won't go up in value. I could, you know, potentially I might have that completely wrong, but I doubt it. I doubt it. I think people write it off, write the PS2 off because of this sheer amount of cheap titles. They think that it'll never sort of like, it'll never be even like the PS1. But I don't believe that. I believe this 10% of titles that are at the moment still very much affordable, they will very shortly increase massively in value, and then, you know, we'll look back and think, bloody hell, yeah. And it has done now. There's certain titles now whereby I look and I think, you know, 12 months ago, we're looking at a good example, something like, a couple of examples, mate, say God Hand and Metal Slug Anthology. They're two good examples whereby 12 months ago, or say, you know, if you want to push it out, a couple of years ago, they weren't commanding good money. You know, they were nowhere near like, and all of a sudden, boom! You're lucky if you can pick either up now. You know, 25, 30 quid, 35 quid. You know, we're just increasing all the time. And there's loads and loads and loads of games like that have very, you know, quite recently just increased in value, and I really can't see it stopping. And a lot of these small print run games, you know, when you've got to remember when they released, a lot of them, I say like in 2006, when you tend to get a lot from 2006 where small print run games came out, and they were literally like, you know, bargain bucket games that nobody wanted. You know, they wouldn't even give them a second glance, these games. And I always think, wow, if I could have got my hands on some of them, you know, back then. I just wish I could have picked some up. But, you know, these sort of titles now, these are the ones that people are realising, you know, these are the ones that are collectible. I don't know, I mean, what's your thoughts? Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you think that it could be a slow burner? Maybe I'm probably potentially jumping the gun a bit with the time frame on it. Maybe it won't be such a short time scale when prices will increase. But, you know, you've got to look at the way retro gaming in general is going up. And it's almost like the PS2 sat, you know, quietly in the background, people discounting it because of, like I said, you know, such a massive library. I don't know, does it put people off? I don't know. But it's just sat there quietly, and you know what? Like I say, these games they just steadily creeping up in price. And all right, I'm always going by eBay prices, but like it or not, eBay is the benchmark of what people are prepared to pay in terms of price. That is the benchmark. And you only need to look at completed listings to get a pretty clear picture about what, you know, prices people are willing to pay. And it's accurate. It's pretty accurate. I've tested the theory. I've watched a few, you know, just watched a few games, and they all tend to go for, say, around that same sort of price. So you know, it's a good sort of indicator about what the true value of these games now. And like I was saying in the previous bit, I've been outbid so much lately because I'm simply not willing to pay these a lot of these increased prices on games that I wanted, it's getting harder and harder to find that bargain on eBay on certain titles. And you know, car boot season started now. I'll be going this Sunday. I'm going to hopefully, you know, keep my eyes peeled for any bargains out there. So hopefully I'll be able to pick something up that's slipped through the net. But yeah, I mean, I just want. I always champion the PS2. I just want to see it getting a bit more love and a bit more appreciation for as a, you know, being a collectible format. I know it'll never really have the status of, you know, cartridge-based media. I know that. I know it never will. And who's to say, you know, there could be a big bubble burst in retro game collecting as a general. It might just all fizzle out to nothing. Who knows? Who knows? But that's my thoughts on it anyway. Right, guys, I am getting very close to work. I'll sign off till another time. Hopefully, at best, this video sparks a little bit of debate on it. See what you think. I know for a fact some of my subs are PS2 lovers, so it'd be interesting to hear what your guys' thoughts on it are. Alright guys, anyway, thank you so much for watching and listening, and I'll catch up with you soon. Take it easy, bye.